Can anyone really break free from the mental chains of America's caste system? Let's dive into this age-old question. This mental wine isn't just some abstract concept. It's the air we breathe, the water we swim in, and the invisible force that shapes our worldview before we even learn to tie our shoelaces. It's everywhere, from the words we use to the neighborhoods we avoid. Take language, for instance. Ever notice how black is associated with all things ominous and white is pure as the driven snow? Yeah, that's not a coincidence. It's the caste system whispering sweet nothings into our collective subconscious. And don't even get me started on geography. We've got neighborhoods so segregated, you'd think we were still living in the 1950s. But hey, we don't call them good or bad areas anymore. We're too sophisticated for that. Now we use coded language like up and coming or rough around the edges. Progress, right? Oh, and let's not forget beauty standards. Because nothing says professional like straight hair and European features. Curls, braids, dreadlocks. Sorry, we don't do urban here. It's not racist, it's just company policy. Wink, wink. History textbooks, more like carefully curated fairy tales. Christopher Columbus discovered America, and Martin Luther King had a dream. There, that should cover it. No need to dig any deeper or question the narrative. That might make people uncomfortable. And then there's our good old unconscious nervous system. You know, those split-second assumptions that pop into your head before you can even process them. Like when you see a black man in a hoodie and your heart rate spikes. But don't worry, you're not racist. It's just your caveman brain looking out for you. How thoughtful. So, can we escape this intoxicating brew? Well, some folks think they found the secret. Colorblindness. I don't see race, they proclaim, patting themselves on the back for their enlightened worldview. Newsflash. Pretending not to see race is about as effective as pretending not to see a tornado while your house is being ripped apart. It's not progressive. It's just willful ignorance with a side of smug. But fear not, dear listeners. There is hope. Not for a full escape, let's not get carried away here, but for a kind of ongoing sobriety. It's like being a recovering alcoholic, except instead of booze, we're trying to kick our addiction to systemic racism. Step 1. Admit you have a problem. Hi, my name is Insert Your Name, and I've been conditioned by a racist caste system. There, doesn't that feel better? No? Well, tough luck. Humility isn't supposed to be comfortable. Next up, question everything. Why did you clutch your purse tighter when that group of teenagers got on the bus? Why were you shocked to learn your surgeon was a woman of color? Prepare for some serious soul-searching and a healthy dose of cringe as you confront your own biases. Now, time for some detox. Flush out all that toxic conditioning with a steady diet of diverse art, literature, and friendships. Warning, side effects may include expanded worldviews and decreased ignorance. Proceed with caution. And here's the kicker. Be ready to get called out, because you will mess up. Over and over again. The goal isn't to achieve some mythical state of perfect awareness. It's to stay on the path of trying, failing, and trying again. It's like yoga for your social consciousness, namaste or whatever. Let's look at some of the so-called most enlightened Americans for inspiration. Take MLK, for example. In his later years, he wasn't just focused on civil rights. He was out there critiquing capitalism and militarism like he was auditioning for a role in a Michael Moore documentary. The man was sobering up from the American dream itself. Or how about James Baldwin? He wasn't just writing about black struggles. He was out there telling white folks they needed to liberate themselves from their own blindness. Talk about a tough sell. Hey, you know that privilege you're enjoying? Yeah, it's actually a prison. You're welcome. And then we've got modern scholars like Ibram X. Kendi, arguing that being not racist is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. We should be actively fighting against racism, because apparently, dismantling centuries of systemic oppression requires more than just good intentions and a few black friends. Who knew? The point is, these figures weren't some enlightened beings who had transcended race. They were just really, really good at recognizing how messed up the system was and spending their lives fighting against it. Their superpower wasn't escape, it was awareness. So, to answer the burning question, no, Virginia, there is no Santa Claus, and there's no escaping the mental wine of America's racial caste system. It's too old, too pervasive, and too deeply embedded in our collective psyche. It's like trying to unscramble an egg with a fork. Theoretically possible, but good luck with that. But here's the twist. True enlightenment isn't about some perfect state. It's about having the guts to admit you're drunk on prejudice and committing to the lifelong work of sobering up. It's like being on a never-ending pub crawl, except instead of bars, you're hopping from one uncomfortable realization to another. The most enlightened among us aren't the ones claiming to be colorblind or post-racial. They're the ones who are brutally honest about how messed up the system is and how it's affected them. They're the ones who keep pushing, keep questioning, keep striving for clarity, even when it feels like they're stumbling around in the dark. That's the real deal about America's wild caste system, folks. It's not pretty, it's not comfortable, and it's certainly not easy to escape. But hey, at least we're all in this drunken stupor together, right? Cheers to that, I guess.